Well, hello and how are you? Hey, friends. Welcome to the Shen Show. I am your host, Senator Briscoe, coming to you live right here in St. Charles, Missouri. Hey, today's Monday, July the 22nd, 2024. Got a happy birthday shout out going out to Gary Regan. And so, without further ado, here's a birthday song for you. I said, hey, Gary, hey, you heard it's your birthday today. Why, that's another year gone away. I hope you're enjoying your special day because, bro, it's your happy birthday day today. I said, hey, Gary, hey, you heard it's your birthday today. Wow, that's another trip around the sun that you made. I hope you're enjoying your special day because, well, it's your happy birthday day today. It's your happy birthday day today. Now, y'all have seen me out here struggling singing. Well, Gary Regan can sing up a storm. So that's Regan, R-A-G. Don't. That's Ragan. Reagan. So if you want to check out a good Facebook page, hear some good singing, go to Gary Reagan. There you go. All right. How about them Shin Show fans? Yeah, we've got a list of them. Rico Murphy, Jarvis Johnson, Patrick Gardner, Repo, Jarvis Smoker, Kyle O'Neill, and my Pokey pals, Martin Kelly and Joseph Marshall. Here are two special return posts for you now. All right, that being said and out of the way, we're going to go ahead and jump into our weather forecast. Oh, by the way, weather forecast is going to be brought to you today by Helping Hands Thrift Store and Foster Care Closet, based at 416 South Fifth Street here in St. Charles, Missouri. Uh, Also, they are a diner, so stop on in and check out their new furniture section. Yep, the whole living room. I would hate to go and buy something because I would it would make me feel like a home wrecker because she's got everything set out to look like a charming home. But that's the way it's supposed to look so that you can see how it would look in your own home. So get on over there. They've got all the furniture. All right. And they've got the clothes and stuff downstairs still. So go on down, take a look. It's all revamped and brand new. 416 South Fifth Street, St. Charles, Missouri. Today's high temperature was 86 degrees Fahrenheit with overcast skies, stray shower or thunderstorm possible. High temperatures of 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds light and variable north at about 5 miles per hour. Some passing clouds from time to time uh, drop them temperatures down to 68 uh, degrees Fahrenheit. Winds again light variable west to northwest at about 5 miles per hour. Then for Tuesday, July the 23rd, sunshine in the morning and then some clouds later in the day. High temperatures of 87 degrees Fahrenheit with winds west to southwest at about 5 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies overnight. Low temperatures of 69 degrees Fahrenheit. And winds will be out of the southwest at about 5 miles per hour. Wednesday, July the 24th, sunshine and some clouds. Also, again, with temperatures around 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be west at about 6 miles per hour, and then mostly clear skies overnight. Low temperatures 70 degrees Fahrenheit and winds west at about 4 miles per hour. And then for Thursday, July the 25th, mostly sunny skies with high temperatures around 91 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be north to northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Few clouds from time to time overnight with low temperatures of 69 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be east to northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for Friday, July the 26th, we're going to say sunshine and clouds mixed together. High temperatures of 89 degrees Fahrenheit with winds east and northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. A few clouds from time to time overnight, low temperatures of 69 degrees Fahrenheit, and winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for our fifth and final day of our 5-day forecast, Saturday, July the 27th, sunshine and clouds mixed together. Stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High temperatures of 88 degrees Fahrenheit with winds southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies overnight with low temperatures of 72 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be south to southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And that, my friends, is your 5-day forecast for the Central viewing area. Boy, it's a good thing I didn't get that one. Just about hit the wrong one and shut the wrong window. Shut the wrong window. Yeah, boy, I went outside for a few minutes. Something got the gnawing on my ear. Don't know what it was, but sure did itch. And nighttime caregiver's sister said it was probably mosquitoes. But I've been getting great results since I was hired. Hold on. Since I have hired, where are they? Vet, I believe is what it's called. Yeah, Aptiva Environment. Aptiva Environment is a very cool bug spray company, all natural, pet, what you can call it, safe. Just come on in, get yourself some. They'll come in, they'll give you an evaluation, take a look, see what they charge you. I got an excellent deal, of course, because I picked it up on Memorial Day. And was that the last one, Memorial Day? Or was it? No, wasn't Memorial Day. It was the other one, Labor Day. I picked it up on Labor Day, got the $300 knockoff special, but and they come out once for the first year. They come out like the first every 6 weeks or so and spray for follow-ups. But after that, they span it out to like once every 4 months. So sorry about that. But yeah, I haven't had problems with mosquitoes. So the other day when they sprayed, they left a mosquito trap there on my front porch. So there you go. And the reason I hired them in the first place was because they are specialists in brown recluse. So I thought, well, let's just get those out of here. So again, that is Aptiva. Again. Yep, Aptiva Environmental. I think I want to go to their site. See if I can just go there. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Oh, I got stuck now. Uh, da, 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 da. Oh, well, I don't know. I'm going to have to get out of there. That's not, we'll try to access it a different way. Activa Environmental. There. Get pest control starting at $2 a day. There you go. Activa. Just give them a phone call at 855 948 5816. Activa. Phone. And you can get a quote right online. Past expertise with neighborly care. Pest expertise with neighborly care. That's right. Solving pest problems for over 500,000 homes nationwide. That's right. With Activa Pest Control, you're covered with bedrooms, garages, living rooms, kitchens, yards, eaves, basements, and everything in between. That's right. And they spray everywhere. I'm telling you. So, yeah, I tell you, come on, get on over to Activa, environmental uh, experts. Okay, sorry about that. Got sidetracked for a second. But anyway, needed to advertise for them anyway. And if you buy from them, you help me out too. If you go ahead and get set up, you just tell them Shenandoah Briscoe turned you on to them, and that'll give me a kickback off of my next payment. Sure enough. I'm gonna sing a song, but I don't know which one it'll be. Oh, deeper than the holler. Song lyrics deeper than the holler. Well, I've heard those city singers sing about how they can love deeper than the oceans, higher than the stars above. But I come from the country, and I know I ain't seen it all. But I heard that oceans salty, and them stars they sometimes fall, and that would not do justice to the way I feel for you. And so I had to sing this song about all the things I do. My love is deeper than the holler, stronger than the river, higher than the pine tree, growing tall upon the hill. My love is purer than the snowflakes that fall in late December, and honest as a robin on a springtime seal. Oh, and longer than the song of a whippoorwill. From the back roads to the back Broadway shows, with a million miles between, there's at least a million love songs the people love to sing. And that people and everyone is different, and everyone's the same. And this is just another way of saying the same old thing. My love is deeper than the holler, stronger than the river, higher than the pine trees that fall, growing tall upon the hill. My love is purer than the snowflakes that fall in late December, and honest as a robin on a springtime windowsill. And as long as that song of the whippoorwill. Well, I tell you, I boogered that song up in big time and bad time. We'll just do a different one. Same artist, different one. On one hand, I could count the reasons I could stay with you and hold you close to me all night long. So many lovers' games I'd love to play with you. And on that hand, there's no reason why it's wrong. But on the other hand, there's a golden band to remind me of someone who would not understand. And one hand I could stay and be your loving man. But all the reason I must go is on the other hand. In your arms I feel the passion I thought had died. And when I look into your eyes, I find myself. And when I first kissed your lips, it felt so fine. But I've got to hand it to you, girl. You're something else. But on the other hand, there's a wedding band to remind me of someone who would not understand. On one hand, I could stay and be your loving man. But the reason I must go is on the other hand. Yeah, the reason I must go is on the other hand. Oh, see, here's songs I was looking for that were song lyrics that I was trying to find yesterday. And we're going to try one, find one now. Because it were Sunday yesterday. A farmer and a teacher, a hooker and a preacher, riding on a midnight bus bound for Mexico. One headed for vacation, one for higher education, and two of them were searching for a lost soul. That driver never ever saw the stop sign, and 18 wheelers can't stop on a dime. There are the wooden crosses, three wooden crosses on the right side of the highway. Why there's not four of them, heaven only knows. I guess it's not what you take when you leave this world behind you. It's what you leave behind you when you go. A farmer left a harvest, a home, and 80 acres. The faith and love for growing things in his young son's heart. And the teacher left her wisdom in the minds of lots of children and did her best to give 'em all a better start. And that preacher whispered, "Can't you see the promised land?" as he laid his blood-stained Bible in the hooker's hand. And there are three wooden crosses on the right side of the highway. Why there's not four of them, heaven only knows. I guess it's not what you take when you leave this world behind you. It's all what you leave behind you when you go. And that's the story that our preacher told us that Sunday as he held the Bible stained, uh, blood-stained Bible up for all of us to see. He said, "Blessed the farmer and the teacher and the preacher who gave this Bible to my mama, who read it to me. There are three wooden crosses on the right side of the highway. Why there's not four of them? No, now I guess we know." And it's not what you take when you leave this world behind you. It's what you leave behind when you go. There are three wooden crosses on the right side of the highway. Wow, that's a heavy song. It certainly is. He wore starched white shirt buttoned at the neck, and he'd sit in the saddle or in the shade and watch the chickens back, and his teeth were gone. But what the heck? I thought that he walked on water. Said he was a cowboy when he was young. He could handle a rope, and he was good with a gun. And my mom and his daddy was his oldest son. I thought that he walked on water. And if the story was told, only heaven knows. But his hat seemed to me like an old halo, and though his wings they were never seen, I thought he walked on water. Well, he tied a cord up to the end of a mop, and he said, "Son, here's a pony. Keep her at a trot." And I'd ride in circles while he laughed a lot. And then I'd flop down beside him, and he was 90 years old in 63. And I loved him, and he loved me. And Lord, I cried the day he died, 'cause I thought that he walked on water. But the story was told, only heaven knows. But his hat seemed to me like an old halo, and though his wings they were never seen, I thought that he walked on water. Yes, I thought that he walked on water. All right, well, we're gonna skip on off of that. I don't even know if I'm singing these songs right. It's been so long since I listened to the radio to hear the actual performers perform them. that I just kind of do them on my own now. Oh, let's do short stories for the kids. Let's read something they would enjoy and did. Oh, short stories for the kids. Let's read one. Ah, hope you did. Let's read a short story for the kids. A Ricky Ticky Tabby. It's going to be a tabby. Ricky Ticky Tabby is a story about a mongoose. A mongoose. Who, pray tell, knows what a mongoose is? It's kind of a rat-like character, all furry and more on the weasel family, I think. But anyway, they are pretty much uh, pretty nifty animals. So, hey kiddos, it's time for TV, Grandpa. So let's jump up on the couch or jump up on the bed or wherever it is you rest your sleepy little head. Because, well, TV, Grandpa is going to tell you another little story to help you roll around in your sleep. So, here we go. At the hole where he went in, Red Eye called a twinkling skin where the little Red Eye Seth Nag came up and danced with death, eye to eye. Okay, here we go. This is the story of the Great War that Ricky Tikki Tavi fought single-handed through the bathroom of the big bungalow in Sangwali uh, Cantonment, Darazay. The Tailor or Tailor Bird helped him, and Concatura the muskrat, who never comes out into the middle of the floor, but always tripped around the wall, gave him advice. But Ricky Ticky did not uh, did the real fighting. He was a mongoose, rather like a little cat in his fur and his tail, but quite like a weasel in his head and his habits. His eyes and the ends of his uh, restless nose were pink, and he could scratch himself anywhere as he pleased with any leg, front or back, that he chose to use. He could fluff up his tail to look like a bottle brush, and his war cry as he scuttled through the long grass was Ricky Ticky Ticky. One day, a high summer flood washed him out of the burrow where he lived, and his father and mother, and it carried him kicking and clutching down a roadside ditch. And he found a little wisp of grass floating there, and he clung to it till he lost his senses. And when he revived, he was lying in the hot sun on the middle of a garden path, where very dragged indeed, and a very small boy was saying, "Here's a dead mongoose. Let's have a funeral." "No," said his mother. "Let's take him in and dry him. Perhaps he isn't really dead." And they took him into the house, and the big man picked him up between his fingers and thumb, and said he was not dead, but half choked. And so they wrapped him in a cotton wool, and they warmed him over a little fire, and he opened his eyes and sneezed. "Now then," said the big man, He was an Englishman who had just moved into the bungalow. Don't frighten him, and we will see what he'll do. It is the hardest thing in the world to frighten a mongoose because he is eaten up from nose to tail with curiosity. And the motto of all mongoose families is run and find out. And Ricky Ticky was a true mongoose. He looked at the cotton wool, decided that it was not good to eat, and he ran all around the table, setting up and put his fur in order, scratching himself, and jumped up on a small boy's shoulder. And don't be afraid, Teddy, said his father. And that was his way of making friends. Ouch, he's tickling under my chin, said Teddy. Huh. Ricky Ticky looked down between the boy's collar and the neck, and he stuffed his ear and climbed down to the floor where he sat, rubbing his nose. Good gracious, said Teddy's mother, and that was it, a wild creature. I suppose he's so tame because we have been kind to him. All mongooses are like that, said her husband. If Teddy doesn't pick him up by the tail or try to put him in a cage, he'll run in and out of the house all day long. Let's give him something to eat. And they gave him a little piece of raw meat. Ricky Tiki liked it and immensely. And when it was finished, he went out and into the veranda, and he sat in the sunshine and fluffed up his fur to make it dry to the roots. And then he felt better. There are more things to find out about in this house, he said to himself, and then all my family could find out in their lives. Uh, in their lives. I shall certainly stay and find out. And he spent all day roaming over the house. He nearly drowned himself in the bathtub, put his nose into the ink on a writing table, and burned him on the end of the big man's cigar, where he climbed up on the big man's lap to see how writing was done. And at nightfall, he ran into Teddy's nursery to watch how kerosene lamps were lit. And when Teddy went to bed, Ricky Ticky climbed up soon too, but he was a restless companion because he had to get up and attend to every noise all through the night and find out what made it. Teddy's mother and father came in, and the last thing to look at their boy and Ricky Ticky was awoke on the pillow. I don't like that, said Teddy's mother. He may bite the child. He'll do no such thing, said the father. Teddy's safer with that little beast than if he had a bloodhound to watch him. If a snake comes into the nursery now, but Teddy's mother wouldn't think of anything so awful. Early in the morning, Ricky Ticky came to early breakfast in the veranda, riding on Teddy's shoulder, and they gave him a banana and some boiled eggs. He sat on all their laps, one after another, because everyone, well brought up mongoose always hops uh, or hopes to be a house mongoose someday and have rooms to run about in. And Ricky Ticky, boy, his mother, she was used to live in a general's house at Settlewe, and he or had carefully told Ricky what to do if he ever he came across white men. Then Ricky Ticky went out into the garden to see what was to be seen. It was a large garden, only half cultivated, but was bushless, as big as summer houses of Marshall Neal roses, lines and orange trees, clumps of bamboos, and thickets of high grass. Ricky Ticky licked his lips, and this is a splendid hunting ground, he said, and his tail grew bottle brush bushy and mm, at the thought of it. And he scuttled up and down the garden, sniffing here and there till he had very sorrowful voices in a thorn bush. It was Jarvis, the tailor bird, and his wife. They had made a beautiful nest by pulling two big leaves together and stitching them up with edges with fibers, and had filtered or filled the hollows with cotton and downy fluff. The next the nest swayed to and fro as they sat on the rim and cried. "What is the matter?" asked Ricky Ticky. "We are very miserable," said Desiree. "One of our babies fell out of the nest yesterday, and Nag ate him." Said Ricky Ticky. "That is very sad, but I am a stranger here. Who is Nag?" Darze and his wife only cowered down in the nest without answering, for from the thick grass at the foot of the bushes there came a low hiss, a horrid cold sound that made Ricky Ticky jump back 2 clear feet, and then inch by inch of the grass rose up the head, and it spread its hood of Nag, the big black cobra, and he was 5 feet long from tongue to tail. And when he had lifted 1/3 of himself clear of the ground, he stayed balanced to and fro exactly as a dandelion tough balances in the wind. And he looked at Ricky Ticky with the wicked snake's eyes that never changed their expression. And however the snake may be thinking of who is Nag, said he, "I am Nag, the great god Brahma put his mask upon all our people. And when the first cobra spread his head to keep the son of Brahma as he slept, look at and be afraid, he spread his hood more than ever, and Ricky Ticky saw the spectacle uh, marks on the back of it that looked exactly like the eyes part of a hook and eye fastening. He was afraid for the moment, but it is impossible for a mongoose to stay frightened for any length of time. And though Ricky Ticky had never met a live cobra before, his mother had fed him on dead ones, and he knew that a grown mongoose' business in life was to fight and eat snakes. Nag knew eh, that too, and at the bottom of his cold heart, he was afraid. "Well," said Ricky Ticky, and his tall uh, tail began to fluff up again. Marks are no marks. Do you think it is right for you to eat fledglings out of a nest? Nag was thinking to himself and watching the least little movement in the grass behind Rikki Tikki, and he knew that mongooses in the garden meant death sooner or later for him and his family. But he wanted to get Rikki Tikki off his guard, and so he dropped his head a little and put it on one side. Let us talk, he said. You eat eggs. Why should not I eat birds? Behind you. Look behind you, said Darzee. Rikki Tikki knew better than to waste time in staring, and he jumped up in the air as high as he could go, and just under him whizzed by the head of Niggergina, Neg's wife. She had crept up behind him as he was talking to make an end of him. He heard her savage hiss as the strokes
Unknown caller.
missed. I'll have to call them back. Strokes missed, and he came down. Actually, I probably should do something. Hello? Hold on just a second. Whoops. Trying to get you either up on Bluetooth or on speaker. There, now you're on speaker, but you're also on the air.
All right. My name is Darren Humphrey. I was calling about the ad that you had on Craigslist.
Yes.
I'm 51 years old. Do you have anyone yet?
Yep, I think I've got it filled, Craig.
Oh, okay.
All righty.
Thank you.
Thanks for your inquiry.
All right, thank you.
All right, and have a blessed day.
Well, you too.
All right, bye-bye. Well, see, folks, we're still getting them calls. And I probably should have had him fill out an application because, So anyway, knew better than wasting time. So he jumped straight up, and Nag's wife, she crept up behind him as he was talking to make an end of him. He heard her savage hiss, and the stroke missed, and he came down almost across her back. And if he had been an old mongoose, he would have known that then was the time to break her back with one bite. But he was afraid of the terrible lashing return strokes of the cobra, and he bit indeed, but did not bite long enough, and he jumped clear of the whisking tail, leaving Bina torn and angry. Wicked Darzee, said Nag, lashing up as high as he could reach towards a nest in the thorn bush. But Darzee had built it out of his reach, out of the reach of snakes, and it only swayed to and fro. Rikki Tikki felt his eyes glowing and growing red and hot. And when a mongoose's eyes grow red, he is angry. And he sat back on his tail and hind legs like a little kangaroo. And he looked all around him and he chattered with rage. But Nag and Negina had disappeared into the grass. When a snake misses its strike, it never says anything or gives any sign of what it needs to do next. So, Riggy Ticky did not care to follow them, for he did not feel sure that he could manage two snakes at once. And so he trotted off to the gravel path near the house, and he sat down to think. It was a serious matter for him. If if you read the old books of natural history, you will find that they say that when the mongoose bites the snakes and happens to get bit, uh, but he runs off and eats some herbs that cure him. That is not true. The victory is only a matter of quickness of eyes and quickness of foot. Snakes blow against mongooses jump, and as no eye can follow the motion of a snake's head when it strikes, this makes things much more wonderful than any magic herb. Ricky Ticky knew what he was a young mongoose, and it made him all the more pleased to think that he had managed to escape a blow from behind. It gave him confidence in himself, and when Teddy came running down the path, Ricky Ticky was ready to be petted. But just as Teddy was stooping, something wriggled a little in the dust, and a tiny voice said, "Be careful, I'm Death." It was correct. The dusty brown snake that lies for choice on dusty earth, and his bite is as dangerous as that of a cobra's, but he is so small that nobody thinks of him, and so he does the more harm to people. Well, Ricky Ticky's eyes grew red again, and he danced up to right with the particular rocking, swaying motion that he had inherited from his family. It looks very funny, but it is so perfectly balanced a gait that you can fly off from it in any angle and that you please. And in dealing with snakes, it is an advantage. So if Ricky Ticky had only known he was doing a much more dangerous thing than fighting Nag, for Tourette's is so small and can turn so quickly that unless Ricky Ticky bit him close to the back of his head, he would get the return strokes in his eyes or his lip. But Ricky Ticky did not know, and his eyes were all red, and so he rocked back and forth, rocking, looking for a good place to hold. And Tourette struck out, and Ricky jumped sideways and tried to run in, but the wicked little dusty guy, gray, had dashed or lashed out with an infraction of his shoulder, and he had to jump over the body, and the head followed his heels closely. And Teddy shouted to the house, "Oh, look here! Our mongoose is killing a snake." And Ricky Ticky heard a screaming from Teddy's mother, and his father ran out with a stick. But by the time that he came up, Charette had lunged out once too far, and Ricky Ticky had sprung, jumped on the next back, dropped his head for far between his forelegs, bitten and as high up on the back as he could get a hold, and rolled away. And the bike paralyzed Trad, and Trad and Ricky Ticky was just going to eat him up from the tail after the custom of his family at dinner when he removed that a full meal makes a slow mongoose. And if he wanted all his strength and quickness ready, he must keep himself thin. He went away for a dust bath under the casserole bushes, while Teddy's father beat the dead snake, Sharat, with the what is the use of that? Thought Ricky Ticky. I have settled it. And then Teddy's mother picked him up from the dust and she hugged him, watching or crying that he had saved Tommy from death. And today, and Teddy's father said that he was to a providence. And Teddy looked on with big scared eyes. Ricky Ticky was rather amused at all of the fuss, which, of course, he did not understand. Teddy's mother might just as well have petted Teddy for playing in the dust. Ricky was thoroughly enjoying himself that night at dinner, walking to and fro among the. Hold on. There. And so later that night at dinner, walking to and fro from person to person, the wine glasses. Oh, walking to and fro among the wine glasses on the table, he might have stuffed himself 3 times over with nice things. But he remembered Nag and Nagina and thought it was very pleasant to be patted and petted by Teddy's mother and to sit on Teddy's shoulder. His eyes would get red from time to time, and he would go off into his long war cry of Ricky Ticky Ticky Ticky. And Teddy carried him off to bed, and instead, on Ricky Ticky sleeping under his chin, Ricky Ticky was too well bred to bite or scratch. But as soon as Teddy was asleep, he went off for his nightly walk around the house. And in the dark, he ran up against Chunder, the muskrat, creeping around the wall. Chachandra is a broken-hearted little beast. He whimpers, he whimpers and creeps all the night long, trying to make up his mind to run into the middle of the room, but he never gets there. Don't kill me, said Chachandra, almost weeping. Ricky, Ricky Ticky, don't kill me. Do you think a snake killer kills muskrats? Said Ricky Ticky scornfully. Those who kill snakes get killed by snakes, said Chachandra, more sorrowfully than ever. And how am I to be sure that Nag won't mistake me for you some dark night? There's not the least danger, said Rikki Tikki, but Nag is in the garden, and I know you don't go there. My cousin Shaw, the rat, told me. And so Chachandra, and then he stopped. Told you what? Hush, Nag is everywhere, Rikki Tikki. You should have talked to Chaw in the garden. I done, I don't. So you, I didn't. So you must tell me, quick, Chachandra, or I'll bite you. Chachandra sat down on and cried till the tears rolled off of his whiskers. I'm a very poor man, he sobbed. I never had spirit enough to run out into the middle of the room. Hush, I mustn't tell you anything. Can't you hear, Rikki Tikki? Rikki Tikki listened. The house was as still, but he thought he could just catch the faintest scratching in the world, a noise as faint as that of a wasp walking on a window pane, the dry scratching of a snake's scales on brickwork. That's Nag and Nagina, he said to himself, and he is crawling into the bathroom. Sluice, you're right, Chachandra. I should have taken or talked to Chow. So he stole off to Teddy's bathroom, but there was nothing there. And then to Teddy's mother's bathroom, and at the bottom of the smooth plaster wall, there was a brick pulled out to make a sluice for the bathroom water. And as Rikki Tikki stole in by the masonry curve where the bath is put, he heard Nag and Nagina go in quietly. And remember that the big man who killed Karat is the first to one to bite, and then come out and tell me, and we will be hunt for that Rikki Tikki together. But are you sure that there is anything to be gained by killing the new people? Said Nag. Everything. When there were no people in the bungalow, did we have any mongoose in the garden? And so, as long as the bungalow is empty, we are king and queen of the garden, and everything, every no need. And remember that as soon as our eggs in the melon bed hatch, and as they may tomorrow, our children will need room and quiet. I had not thought of that, said Nag. I will go But there is no need that we should hunt for Ricky Ticky afterwards. I will kill the big man and his wife and the child if I can, and come away quickly. Then the bungalow will be empty, and Ricky Ticky will leave. Ricky Ticky tingled all over with rage and hatred as this, and then Nag's head came through the sluice, and his 5 feet of cold body followed, and angry as he was, Ricky Tiki was very frightened as he saw the size of the big cobra. Nag coiled himself up, raised his head, and he looked into the bathroom in, in the dark, and Ricky Tiki could see his eyes glittering. And now, if I could kill him here, Nagina will know. And if I fight him on the open floor, the odds are in his favor. What am I to do? What am I to do? And so, said Ricky Tiki, Ricky Tiki Tavi, Nag waved to Nag waved to the end. Then Ricky Tiki heard him drinking from the biggest water jar that was used to fill the bath. That is good, said the snake. And now, when Karat was killed, the big man had a sticker, and he may have that sticker still. But when couldn't find it. But anyway, as uh, the snakes were looking for the older man had the sticker, a pitchfork, and the snake was looking for it, couldn't find it anywhere. And now Ricky Tiki was about to pounce and make his move. And so he pounced on the gal and killed her right then and there. And then Nag came up out of the hole, and as think I'm done. All right. Anyway, I hope that put you guys to sleep because it certainly put me to sleep. And that's going to bring us to the daily bread portion of the program. Daily bread portion of the program is going to be brought to you today by the Bible with Briscoe 2024. The Bible with Briscoe 2024 is a daily reading of the Bible to be completed within 1 year. Today's reading in the Bible with Briscoe 2024 will be Psalms 31 through 32 and Acts 23, 16 through 35. So don't forget to tune into the Bible with Briscoe 2024 for your daily reading of the Bible. Today's instruments for God is the devotion and the daily bread portion of the program, and the readings will be Ephesians 2 4 through 10. And so here we go. Ephesians 10 4 through 10. But because of his great love for us, God, who is rich in mercy, made us alive with Christ, even when we were dead in transgression. Now, it is by grace that you are here. And we have been saved. And God raised us up with Christ and seated us with him in the heavenly realms in Christ Jesus, and in order that the coming ages he might show the incomparable riches of this his grace, expressed in his kindness to us in Christ Jesus. For it is by grace that you have been saved through faith, and this is not from yourselves. It is the gift of God, not by works, so that no one can boast. For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, with which God prepared us are in advance. You can't. I'm sorry. Did I go somewhere on you? Oh, shoot. Well, goodbye, my friends. It's time to go. I hate to leave you, but I really must go. So, goodbye, my friends. Goodbye. Goodbye, my friends. Goodbye. This here has been Shen Briscoe saying hello and how are you? Thanks for tuning in to the to the Shen Show today. Um, and as always, God, God bless you. Come back and see us again tomorrow. I forgot where I was. I thought I had already uh, signed out. So, all right, that's it. Bye bye. God bless you.